Hey everybody, I'm Josh Olive with Haven Comics. It's Thursday night, which must mean it's time for Shop Talk. So we are going to be talking with Mark Spears tonight, which is awesome. And you'll find out some more about what's going on there. So come right back after this, or better yet, don't go anywhere. I love that intro every single time we play it. Makes me happy. All right, guys. Not going to waste time around here tonight. We're going to get on moving down the road. So there is Alan Breedlove, the one, the only, the man who likes to applaud himself. What's happening?
Well, I am so glad that Mark is on tonight because, to be honest with you, I have not had a chance to read one comic book the entire flipping week since we last met.
Boo!
I mean, honestly,
that was well timed with my facial expression. That was good.
Last night, I was kind of feeling like Nick Ellis, and it was depressing.
Wow. Nobody wants to feel that way. So let's go ahead and bring on the man, the myth, the legend, Mark, the awesome one, Spears. What's
certified badass.
Oh yeah, love it.
All right. So we've got a little bit of housekeeping to cover here, Mark, because your book, your Monsters comic, was supposed to be released. Let me see, next Wednesday.
Yep.
And then the distributor, good old Diamond, just went ahead and sent it out to everybody a week early, and we're like, put it on the shelves
without telling us. The Ken Spot told me that night, said, hey, I just realized it because I went to Diamond and looked at it, and it said releasing September 18th. So we didn't know at all.
Well, you know why?
Why?
Because Diamond didn't do it on purpose. It was a mistake.
Really? I didn't know that.
They do that all the time.
Robbie had told me that he said he's seen it do it before, like a real, if they're a very low publisher on the totem pole, they just release it when they want to. They don't. He said that's a guideline, but I don't know.
I've seen them do it with all kinds of books where they're like, oops, oh well.
If it's sitting there in their warehouse, I'm sure they're like, why is it sitting here for 3 weeks? Right? They got it done early. One, because the book's done, right? So they sent that thing in. It's the people who got exclusive covers got them 2 weeks ago, right? So I had my comp copies for 2 weeks. So the Diamonds held on those for a while. So I thought they were like, you know what? It's costing us money to store these things. We're sending them out. So
your comic Monsters #1 has come out.
Yep.
If you want to, Alan, if you want to find a cover copy to pop up on the screen.
Oh, I can do that because Mr. Spears actually posted some stuff on Instagram earlier.
Well, that works too. But while you're doing that, I want to jump over to Facebook and read you a message that was left on our Facebook page either this morning or last night. I think it was this morning. Let me go see. Here we go. In reference to Monsters #1. I will not reveal who said this just because they haven't given permission, but here's what they wrote. Picked up my copy of Monsters #1 last night. Holy smokes, this may be my top comic of 2024. The art, the story, the pacing, in my humble opinion, this is a masterclass in comic book presentation.
Man, I got to give Alan $5 for that great.
It was not Alan.
It was not me. I can honestly say that.
I tell you, I've been getting all the, I was very nervous yesterday because I wasn't prepared for it releasing early, right?
Right. How would you know?
I was actually going to, I had a whole social media plan, right? Every day going to be posting certain things. So I was legitimately so like sweating yesterday because I was like, man, I'm not prepared for the feedback, if you get what I'm saying. So
sure.
because you release this to the world is different from Kickstarter where there was 300 people. This is thousands and thousands.
And those 300 people knew they were going to get it, and
exactly
they signed up for it. They didn't wander into a store with everything else on those crowded shelves,
exactly,
and go, "I want to try that."
So, because they were basically already usually fans of my work to contribute to that Kickstarter.
Right.
So this was very nerve-wracking. I didn't know what was going to happen. And throughout, it was almost like, almost like an election or something. You know how you're waiting for the results to come in?
Yeah, absolutely.
And throughout the day, Ken Spot kept sending me, say, "Hey, here's a review. Here's another review. They're good." And I'm like, oh, okay. So
I bet you are the number one man at CanSpot right now.
oh yeah. Yeah.
I bet they would come and kiss your feet if you wanted to.
I could ask for a pizza if I wanted, I think, and they would probably give it to me. They're really happy with me over there. So
I bet they are.
But the reviews again have been great. But people I don't even normally watch at all, comment reviews, have said they liked it. I was shocked by some of the stores. They got some copies. I didn't know if I did ask Ken Spot if Diamond would tell us how many stores, because I think you had asked that. How many stores actually got it?
How many accounts? Yeah.
He said they won't tell him that information. That's
interesting.
I don't know why. Really? I would love to know that, just because if you told me like, hey, 200 stores got it, 300 stores, whatever, out of 2,000,
approximately 3,000.
Okay, how do we focus on getting these other ones just to get 1 or 2 copies, right? So there people can try it. But yes, they keep that information close to the chest. So I don't know that, but I'm very humble. People are enjoying it. Again, all the reviews, I've had people writing me that weren't fans before, and telling me how much they enjoyed it. So the only, I think Mike Spider Slayer released it today as a worthy one.
I saw that video. Yeah. It was deemed
worthy. The price is pretty steep at $5.99. And, I was glad he said that though, because it is true. It is, I don't want anybody, but just because I might know them a little bit, giving me a fake kind of review or something. And Spider Slayer, Mike, he gave it to straight. And it is a little, it is a little high. That's just the way it is. I didn't actually come up with the price. That was Ken Spot. I think though he did say, because, for that price for the meat of the story, I am adding more pages of art for the ones coming out at number 2, 3, 4, and all that. And I did that because retail versions are different than Kickstarter versions, right?
Yes.
Kickstarter, y'all read the Kickstarter, some of those. It's a captive audience. I don't have to worry if you want number 3 because you've already got it. So it's almost like a trade paperback. It's just split up. On the retail versions, you've got to get that audience to say, come on, stay with me another issue, right? One more issue. So I've decided just to, and people buying a title called Monsters expect, hey, there should be some monsters in this book. So like in issue 2, I'm adding 6 more pages, and it's going to have the creature in it. I've already laid out because a lot of these characters I didn't get to focus on much just because you have
to save some for downstream, man.
Exactly. But now it's like, hey, people are liking it, enjoying it. Creature's going to be added to this one. Number 3, I'm adding more Frankenstein pages to that one. So it's going to be neat. So that people who did get the Kickstarter, I find out they're usually getting the retail and gives them a little something extra to the store.
And I will tell you, and I will say this, the book really picks up first issue is solid. I mean, that's great. And I love the twist there toward the end of that one too, because that caught me by surprise. I was like, what?
Yeah.
No. Right. But when you get issue 4, I think if I'm remembering right,
that's
is really the one where it takes off. Yes. I mean, you're on the runway, you're moving, you're going fast. And at 4 is when you get it lift off and you really start moving.
The original design of the comic was totally different. I'll have to come on one night and find that one and we'll share it. When I had pitched it to Dark Horse, I had 5 issues and they told me they only could take 4 at that time. And so I was going to condense it even further, but the first issue started with a bang. You had the werewolf change scene and all that, where he's in the sheriff's office. All that was issue 1. I had the kids in issue 1. All that where they're traveling. So basically, knowing when I was going to do the Kickstarter and it was going to be more issues, I took my time, and I paced it out to where, and I moved that the flashback Dracula scene that everybody likes. It was actually going to be issue like 3 or so, but I moved it up to issue 1, which I think that was a good call.
I think that was a great call because I love that scene.
People are really liking that.
There's such a good, I didn't see that coming kind of moment there.
Yeah.
Which is great. The other thing I will say too is on the $5.99 cost point, right? The price point for that. Yeah, okay. It's a little pricey. It's not that much more pricey than another standard issue comic book, right? Most of Marvel's are $4.99. So it's not that cheap it's not like there's that major of a difference.
Plus,
but also here's the thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you buy an independent comic that has a killer cover, 9.999 times out of 10, the interior art is drawn by like a 4-year-old with a crayon, and it looks awesome. It just doesn't match up, right?
Right.
In this case, the interior art is every bit as eye-popping and holy smokes, wow, as the cover, because it's all the same stuff. That's worth the extra $1 to me just for that.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's a lot of times if it's a painted interior, there's a premium on the comic already. I think on Spawn History of Violence, they upped the price on that. I also had heard, I want to say it was Ken Spot had told me this, it might have been someone else, that retailers would actually like the $5.99 better because it helps their profit margin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you do. The bigger the figure, the better the margin. That's true.
But because, it's
a lot harder to pay the bills when you're selling.
Right. Which to the creator, I don't even know. I might be getting, I haven't did the math yet. I might be getting a dime to 25 cents an issue or something. It's very low as a creator because, we got the printing cost, and then there's Diamond, and then there's Ken Spot gets their share. So it's.
I suspect your numbers will go up after this. Your percentages.
Oh, I don't know. It's we've already.
It's a volume business, right? It's a volume business.
Yeah, I should have made a deal where, hey, let's publish number 1 and then we'll talk percentages. But I went ahead and signed with them without doing that. But I don't know. I think this though is it really gets.
Tell your wife.
Oh no! Hey, is that Oh my gosh! Oh, that's his name's Brian. Is that him?
I don't know.
He has his own show. Have you never seen Beyond Wednesdays?
No.
It's an awesome show.
I live a secluded life, man. I don't see a whole lot. There he is. Yeah.
Yes, Brian. Oh my gosh! I just watched his a show yesterday. They were talking about my covers and the interiors, all that kind of stuff. So,
I would like for you, please, to do one thing for me, Mark, if you can.
Yeah.
Can you go on the record and tell Alan 100% hand on a Bible, swear to God, that that first opening page, that dude at the mirror, that is not me?
Look, Josh, I know that you and Mark are friends, and I know that he will lie for you, man. And I will not believe him. We all know that you were the model that he used for that
I will
scene.
not confirm nor deny that Josh Olive is the model for that detective.
I mean, look, we all know the truth. I mean, Josh is the model. In fact, anybody that purchased that comic book, I promise you, if you just swing by Haven next Wednesday night, and as soon as Mark signs it and remarks it for you, you turn around and hand it to Josh, and he can flip it right to that page and sign right across the underwear because that's him.
Josh, just shave your head, right? Get the same haircut. Get just the mustache going. I think he has a little bit of scrub, a beard, but yeah, you could do that in cosplay. I think you could be him.
I just really wanted Alan to back down off of that claim, and he's going whole hog.
Oh no, I'm full tilt on this one. I know it is. So you had said that you pretty much didn't know how many comic book stores ordered. Is that how that was?
We don't know.
Do they give you, or might even fall on the same lines of it? Do they give you an idea of like pre-sales, what their pre-sale numbers are, what they think you might be doing?
We did I want to say it was over 11,000 pre-sales through Diamond. That's not counting exclusive covers that we did. Now that might be rounded up. I think it was 10,000 so and so numbers.
10,800 and something, I think was what you told
something
me
like that. And then so that was actually pretty good. That was a big accomplishment because it was bigger than like Invincible, bigger than Walking Dead. Of course, those were hits right when they first hit, but they were Image comics. You got to think, right? Even though that was 20 years ago, that was still an Image brand, which Kinspot is not that big of a brand as Image has ever been, right?
Right.
Not knocking Kinspot at all, but I'm just saying Image is way up there in brand. So the other little fact we found out is 2 nights ago, right before the release, it was on Tuesday, they said, "Hey, Mark, it's sold out at Diamond." They showed me the numbers. Diamond, it'll show you how many is in stock at Diamond and how many is on order. And there's some for orders, like 100 of this, 100 and something of that, 0 in stock. So that means that's great because that means all the comics that exist are in the stores right now. Bad part of that, like the Deep, all their brides were damaged. Won't get any, right? They're metal. They got over 75, so they got the metal cover. And we never, as Robbie showed it to me. It's
how they damaged a metal cover is beyond me. You got to work hard for that.
Dude, it was crushed. I mean, it was
like they had to drop that box perfectly on that corner from a great height.
It had to be, or it was damaged before it got in there. I don't know. I won't say, but
Ed posted a picture of it in a retailer forum. Like, how?
I felt horrible for them for that. I went and took them. I have some medals. I took them one because they will not get it. They'll just Diamond will give them a credit or whatever.
Right, because it's a incentive cover. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually on that they'll give them nothing. Right. They'll get credit for the brides, but that is just nothing. So if you
got any extras.
Yeah, I might have a medal that I'll swing by Haven Comics. But if anybody else is listening to this, if they got some damage incentive cover or something, I don't have many, but reach out to me. I'd at least like to know if there's something I can do, because that's the only bad thing about selling out, right? You love to hear that, but then there's no replacing that cover for them.
That is a real shame, and that's tough.
And what I'm hearing, another thing is the Infinity cover is selling the best, which is it wasn't ordered to me. The highest. Yeah. It was the highest ordered was cover A, of course, and that had about, I want to say 3,000 something units, right?
Yeah.
The other ones all had 2,000 and something, and one of them had 1,000 and something. It's the Dracula by itself, right? Okay. Which I figured that one probably wouldn't do as good as the other ones. And so that means, though, if the brides getting damaged and stuff and all that, all I'm seeing on shelves when I watch YouTube videos and they're going around the comic shop is 340 and Hulk 340 homage, the Wolverine and Hulk. And then it's the Infinity one. And that's all that Golden Apple has left. Golden Apple talked to me yesterday and said they're all out except those 2 covers. So it's really interesting. So I just don't know. If it was me buying them, if I was going to go get one, I would buy them all. But no, hear me out though. Think about this. They are gone at Diamond, And then they can't get, all that. The reprint, the second printing is going to have a different cover. So it ain't like you can go, well, I'll just get that one when they do a second printing of that cover. We're not doing that. I'm doing a Halloween cover because I want to do something for the Halloween season. So
nice.
Oh yeah. Now see, I very rarely buy second printings, but I'll definitely be buying that one.
And see, that's why I did that. Love the Days of Future Past. Oh man. Hey, and on Brian, while I'm thinking about him, he is instrumental in getting this comic to be everywhere like that. He supported the Kickstarter. Not only did he do that, he went on Beyond Wednesdays, his show, and was telling everybody about me. I never knew him at that time or anything. And he was telling all these people. After that day, he did that. I probably had 25 new Kickstarter backers the next day.
So that's a guy with good taste and influence.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was this comic, even though it says my name above it, it is such a group effort that got this done. Josh, you got to did a bunch of stores that was not going to get it at all, right? They were like, oh no, I ain't gonna get it. And they got it because you said, hey, Mark, here's so-and-so, talk to this person. Alan didn't do anything, so he gets no credit.
No, you're right. All Alan did was reap the benefits of reading it like 5-6 months ago, something like. Has it been that long?
But I appreciate that, Alan. I think you are mentioned in the back. If not,
oh really?
I'm sorry. I think you are in the letters page. I thought I put your name in there.
Oh, cool.
I thought I even put your real name, Mark Allen Breedlove. I thought I got that on there. I think it's there. It's not in there. It was at a time, and oops, I might have had to trim it. So,
well, I'll tell you, I'm really excited for having you out to the shop next week for our launch party.
Crap.
Oh, what'd you do?
I hit the wrong button,
Alan.
I was trying to get us back up there like that.
So,
all these other people helping out so much, and you're just deleting them off the screen.
Yeah.
I know.
So next Wednesday, it's going to be 5 to 7.
Yep. At the official launch party.
The official launch party. That's
you'll already be well out to sea by that point, but.
And it will be. I'm gonna bring a cover, some incentive cover, some cards. We're gonna give away the first 2 people who come in there want get something signed. I'm giving them a pack of cards. We're going to have a giveaway. I'm going to give you a hard to find cover, and you somehow, if they want to enter in to like put their name in a hat, however you want to do that, you handle that. I think Spawn comes out next week, King Spawn, if it ain't delayed. So that'll be there. I could sign. There's a ton of stuff. We've got
a host of books that you can sign. We've got some Green Lantern with that absolutely sick John Stewart cover. I'm not a Green Lantern fan. I don't think anybody would ever accuse me of saying I was. That John Stewart cover might just make a fan out of me. That was awesome. Holy smokes, that John Stewart cover he looks amazing. But we've also got
you got some
that Violator cover. We've got some
Superman.
We've got probably 10 or 12 different books. We've got our own little Mark Spears section at the store.
I'm hoping that I did that interview today on Channel 19. I'm hoping that'll bring some people in who normally aren't like the comic book guys, right? Who go, oh, I know it's there, but I'm not. But I'm hoping it'll bring some in. 19 told me they're going to list all the stores, your store, another 2, on their webpage and the times. So hopefully that will drum up a little, interest in this,
I will say that was a good interview. They actually asked some good questions, which is not normal for those kind of interviews.
They also didn't, they didn't tell me the questions beforehand. So what's weird is on this, I'm used to all these, podcast things that we do, Zooms and all this. I can see you. Well, you're on my left and Alan's up here on my right. When that started, everything was gone. I didn't know who am I looking at, where am I, going. I could see myself, but I had no idea what was going on. And so that threw me off a little bit, but I think it worked.
It was a great interview. It was fantastic. And
So
like I
I'm
said,
going-
they asked some good questions, and you had great answers. And
They did reach out
hopefully-
afterwards and say that they're one of the anchors is going to reach out to me about doing a featured piece on me or something about showing more of the art and stuff. So that'll be great.
Was it Greg Screws? Because he's a comic book fan.
It could be, but this was the producer of the 9 o'clock. Said one of our anchors has expressed interest. It could be because
Greg Screws is a comic book fan. That
I remember you
surprise me at
telling me
all.
that before, and I was hoping to get a hold of him at one time. So
Yeah,
I really don't even know how the interview happened, who actually talked to who, because I had tried different stations here local, right? Writing them, telling them what was going on, nothing back. And
that's par for the course.
Yeah, and this one, I don't really know who actually contacted the producer there, but they were all for it. DC got on a call with me and Channel 19 yesterday. We had a pre-interview because DC was like very interested and said, "Hey, we'll let you show this." The artwork they showed in the interview never been seen before.
I was surprised that they did that because that's not normal.
DC was so happy that I was doing this. That's why they wanted to get involved, and they were great. That was a new guy I never met who's over the I guess publicity, marketing,
Their marketing
whatever.
and publicity, yeah.
So, but great guy. We had a great conversation yesterday, and they allowed me to do that.
Put that dude in touch with me if you would, or give me his contact.
I sure can. Yeah, I sure can. Because he even told 19 if they ever need him for anything. So I'll give you his email, and just say you know me, and he'll know exactly where you're at. But,
so it aired this morning.
Yeah, it aired this morning at 9:10. I came on, and I guess it lasted about 5-10 minutes, something like that.
Are you
on my
with Mark on
page,
Facebook?
Alan?
Okay, well, I was looking on Channel 19's website and didn't see anything.
I can't watch it. I haven't watched it because it's just weird watching yourself.
Listening to yourself is always awkward. Yeah,
I can't stand when I listen to when I speak, I sound totally normal. If I hear myself talking, I sound so country that I'm like, how can people even understand what I'm saying? So, but I want to say this real quick about Haven. My wife just pulled up, so she won't hear. Me and my wife get a kick. I show her Haven the show, the Shop Talk, right? We'll watch it. We'll watch it in the living room, and I'm busting out laughing because when I'm there, and then somehow if I'm on my phone or something, I'll say, "Hey, that's great" or something. If y'all know I'm here, you always say, "Hey, do you know Mark Spears? Mark Spears is an awesome artist." And you'll show them my work, and the guest is always like, I'm looking at it and laughing because they're like, "Do you remember what's his name that does the animal stuff? Stray Cats. Who's that?
Oh yeah, Tony Fleeks.
Flex. Yeah.
That's a hilarious video. Whoever's watching now, if you want to watch something great, go back and watch Shop Talk with him on it. They're talking about me, and he gets like this. He's like, "Okay, let's move on." And then Alan goes, "Nope, found it." And Alan starts showing the artwork. And it happened again a couple of weeks. Oh, it happened when it was the guy that used to do G.I. Joe.
He's doing Disavowed now.
Yes,
Josh Blaylock. Yeah.
Yes. You're talking to him, you tell him about me, and you're like, "Man, look at these colors." And again, he's like, okay. And you can see that he's looking down at his phone, like he's just so bored. And then he's like moving on. You move on, Josh. Alan does it again. Found it, and then shows the Lobo cover. And then y'all spend the next 10 minutes talking about me again. And
that's hilarious.
I do not care about this Mark Spears at all.
I didn't realize we were doing that. I'll be honest with you.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. It's hilarious too, because they're like, they're like, "I don't care. I don't care who this is. Let's talk about me. I'm here, And that's what's so funny is they're not, like I said, if you did that, if you started talking about someone else, I would just listen in. I would be like, "Oh, okay." They can't hold it on their face. It's hilarious because they're going, oh. And one of them, I want to say it was Tony, actually said, "Okay, enough about Mark Spears." And then at the end, it moved on.
I feel like I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that.
It's not, I'm not being mean to them at all. I'm just thinking it's so funny because y'all were, the home team and saying, "Hey, look at this, man. This guy's local. He's awesome. We know him." And they're like, "I don't care. I don't care about that." So I love it though. Those two, I think there's even a third, but I can't recall it right now. I know those two I watched and I was just crying, laughing so hard. We rewatched the whole thing again. I even took my son and showed it to him, the last one. And you got to watch it. You got to watch just that segment. It's hilarious. We need to make just clips of that and start posting them on YouTube.
I'll have to go back through and find that.
I need to go back and check those out. That's funny.
But I got off topic. Yes, next Wednesday night, launch party, Mark Spears Monsters, 5 to 7. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to give away some free stuff. Let's see. Well, Alan, you going to be there?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Alan will be there.
Alan's bringing the pizza.
You can get your book signed by Josh. He's in the credits.
Apparently, I'm in the first page.
He's on the first page.
He's on the first page. And Alan might be on the letters page of the back. If he's not, I'll write his name in on it, and he can find it on top of that. But
I will absolutely devalue your comic by appending my signature to it if you wish.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I've got to buy 2 copies. One copy, to put away and preserve because I'm a nerd like that. And the other copy, I want you to sign your name right across his underwear. And then we're going to stick it in Nick's box.
That's fair. That's fair. That's hysterical, but that's fair. Oh, my Lord. I'm so excited for this book. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you.
Oh, thank you. Again, crazy. It's crazy that it's accepted this much, right? I thought, honestly, when I thought about getting a publisher to do this, I thought it's going to come out, maybe sell a few copies, right? Didn't think it would, do as good as it has done. And then it would be so accepted like it is, like people are loving it. And never in my wildest dreams thought that, right? Not at this level, not with this publisher. I thought, I'm not up there yet. So it's shocking. It really is. And then to have the DC stuff, I got 5 DC covers coming out in December. I got a Shazam cover I just did. It'll be out in January. I did a DC versus Vampires. It'll be out in January. Another news is Spawn 77 got greenlit. I'm already started working on it. A big announcement at October, New York Comic Con. So that'll be a big announcement there. I'm doing artwork now for Comic Con. So, but that I can go ahead and tell because Todd got the cat out of the bag months ago that we were doing it. So
by Todd, he means Todd McFarlane.
Todd McFarlane, yeah. So I got all this great stuff going on, man. I was just thinking earlier today, I was like, wow, I remember because I was thinking I was going to be on Shop Talk, and I said I remember doing Shop Talk when the McFarlane stuff came out, right? In 23, March 23, and then later in the year before Kickstarter and all that stuff. And I was sitting there going, I have no one's giving me any work. No one's giving me any covers. And now I was sitting there earlier today writing one company and says, I got to know exactly what work are giving me to fit everybody in. And that's just amazing, right? That's the goal you want as a freelancer is to always have continuous work. And just so overjoyed. And then luckily the Monsters is already done. Basically, I don't really have to do much to it every month. Like I said, I'm going to add a few pages, but I can't wait I have started on issue 9 and 10. So I can't wait when that does come out.
Now you had said something earlier that I wanted to ask you about, because I've always been kind of curious about this. And I mean, this could be like an extremely rudimentary question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. When you mentioned the second printing of Monsters #1, how, as far as an independent book like this, how do they determine and when do they determine a second printing for a book?
Okay, so I had asked them weeks ago because I didn't know. I asked KenSpot, I said, will there be a second printing? And they said, it's too early to know yet, because what happens to happen on that, your distributor, in this case, it's Diamond, has to sell out, right? Because if they sit there and got 500 copies, right, for damages or just reorders,
Right.
then there's no reason for a second printing, right? You could do it just to do a different cover, but there's really no point in it. The book's not selling well. This one did well enough. Really, they KenSpot said that, because KenSpot's actually done second printings, so they have sold out before. Never a week and a day before release, and of course it wasn't a week and a day before release because they released it early. We didn't know that, but so when basically what happens
it turned out to be a week. A day
it turned
before.
out to be basically just the day before we found out. So I don't know. It could have been more than that. But so like basically if Josh goes and goes, man, that thing sold so good, I need a few more of them. He goes and places in another order, or maybe it got damages, and he says, hey, I need 30 more books of the broad cover. There's an order at Diamond saying that's a purchase order. We need these books. Now KenSpot goes, they're gone. All the books are gone. So that determines now we got to do a second printing. So in that at the very beginning, I said, if we do one, I want to do another cover, because I thought that's another opportunity. Normally, like Rat City got a second printing. They use the same cover. I'm like, dude, I'm going to do a cover, because I didn't know that this would be out at Halloween and all this. I said, I'm going to do it Halloween. I'm going to have Dracula and all them trick-or-treating. And I said, I'm going to make the cover so freaking good. If you've already bought 5 covers, you're going to look at it and go, dadgummit, I got to buy that one too. And it's because the whole thing is I'm trying to help retailers out. I'm all about wanting to help the comic stores sell those. I don't want them to have them and sit on the shelf. I can't stand that. I mean, that's just wasted paper, right? If they're
100% as a retailer, thank you.
Yes, I contacted a few retailers the other day. Golden Apple, I asked them how it sold. They said, again, they sold all of them except those 2. They're still selling. I wrote a couple of other ones. They said it did great. Muncie Comic Shop Decatur, I think he said, we're going to sell out, Mark, before I come see them next, a week from Friday. And, he ordered heavy. Everybody ordered heavy around here. So it's just it's great. Dude, that's just amazing.
Did you hear back from Rob at Borderlands there in South Carolina?
No, that's okay. That's who I got to write. Yeah, I was asking you that. I forgot. I need to ask him. I think he. That's the one I had to ask. I know there's a guy in Durham, North Carolina. It's so good. They want exclusive covers for 2 through 6 already. They've already. We've someone asked, they said, I love this book. We want to advertise in it. KenSpot said, advertise in it? We've never had anybody want to advertise.
Oh my Lord. Well, that's as a small publisher who's hasn't had that exposure. That's phenomenal. Good for them.
Okay. So I don't know what made me think of this. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to go check it out, and y'all are not going to believe this. I'm just going to share my screen.
Okay.
So I went to eBay just to see, and here are your eBay prices right now.
Now those are exclusives. Those 2.
Yeah.
There's somebody trying to sell the regular cover for 20. Now now you can
go
look
to
at
the sold listings
section
and see what's sold.
A lot have sold yesterday. I know that I looked at that.
There you go.
Wow, that sold for $20. That's the off the stand cover.
And it hasn't even officially, it hadn't even hit the official street date yet.
That's
but
crazy.
Look at the prices are going up though. Look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, I want me an exclusive. I don't have some of the exclusive for stores. I don't get in comps because they send them right to the stores. So I got to buy me a few of those. But that's just amazing that it's already, doing that well. I mean, is that all just dude, that was just yesterday. All these are from yesterday.
Yeah,
so,
all these are from yesterday. Well, here's one from that 18th was yesterday.
So it's doing amazing. And look, again, with 11,000 copies being out there, that's not that much.
It's definitely not.
You got to think the monsters did very well in trading cards, right? I did trading cards. I made I had probably 1,000 boxes, right, of each series, and those all sold out, right, with the demand wanting more. So there's going to be people out there that are going to want this. Yeah, I would suggest anybody out there, if you think you might like it, I don't want you buying it just to think, hey, this is going to put my kid through college. But buy it if you think you might enjoy it and hang it on your wall. Honestly, I'm shocked. I think it's great that we did 11,000, but then I'm sitting there going, wow, with this feedback, 11,000 is not enough. They're going to, and we talked about that at KinSpot. They said, Mark, do you want us to print over? Right. They could print 15,000, a lot of whatever. And I said, no, let's do a favor to the collectors. Let's print exactly what was ordered. And then that's worth something to them now, right? You get what I'm saying? If we would have printed 10,000 more just to have in a warehouse somewhere just to fill orders later on, the damages and all that, it devalues it a little bit. 11,000. Look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The first issue they printed 3. I think the second issue they printed 6. And that was back in the 80s. Well, even Walking Dead number 1 right now probably goes for a pretty good amount, right? $20 or more, $100. I don't even know.
$20.
Yeah,
goes more than
2,000.
No way. Again, it had like 7,000, 8,000. I think was the print level of that. Invincible, same way. Yeah, dude. It's a great time for monsters. Of course, this time of year, but look at all this stuff trying to come out. I mean, they're making I think Guillermo Toro's making a Frankenstein thing for Netflix. You got Wolfman coming out next year for Universal. You've got in comics alone, you've got the Universal stuff over there at Image, right? Mm-hmm. That they just started. Then you've got they're doing. I think they're doing an animated show, and I'm sure DC will bring those back. It's what is the DC? They have Frankenstein in it. It's a team.
Oh, if you hadn't said it, it would have jumped right to my mouth, and it's right on the tip of my tongue.
It's not Justice League Dark.
Gunn's doing a book of that. I mean, a animated series of that. I think on HBO.
It's driving me nuts because I know exactly what it is.
Is it called Monster something?
It's not Monsters Unleashed.
No. Is it
That's
something
just gonna
Syndicate?
drive me nuts.
I have absolutely loved those books Beyond Wednesday.
Well, Epitaphs from the Abyss and Cruel Universe have been spectacular.
Yes,
dude, the artist, whoever the cover
Creature
artist
Commandos,
is on
that's it.
That's it. Commandos, Creature Commandos. Whoever the artist is on those, I was wanting to go and try to get some covers over there, the EC Comics thing, and I saw the artist that they got, and I was like, never mind that. It blows my mind how good that is. That's beyond my level. I don't think I can get up to there that day. That is so good. I don't know if the interior art, I guess they're not doing the inside.
Well, it's all different stories. So all the different stories have different artists.
But I love that. I love that they brought it back. I thought that's,
Well, Epitaphs from the Abyss, they originally had published as a 6-issue limited series. And now, as of the last issue, it's a 12-issue limited series. So we'll see if its sales hold up. Then I think it might just be an ongoing and kind of go like Transformers back in the day, right? Number 1 of 4, it turned into 84 issues.
Of 84 issues. I love that though. There's a lot of horror stuff out there. The thing is, remember the best movie to ever make, they said years ago, 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, horror movie, right? That's why Friday the 13th was made. It was cheap at that time to make those movies, and they always did well. Horror in comics, there's been a big drought, but now it's coming back, right? And I think that's a great thing. I love anything. I'm like Stephen King once said. He said, "I've never seen a bad horror movie because he said it gave me the one thing it said, horror." no matter how bad it was still horror. And I'm with that, man. I love anything horror, anything scary and stuff, movies, fiction, novels to comics. I love all that stuff. But I love it this time right now, though. I think it's just the best time that Monsters is hitting. I think it's the card series, like I said, did so well. I was shocked no one had done that, right? Like, why aren't there more card series of monster stuff out there? But yeah, I think somebody was doing a Kickstarter the other day. I don't know if it started yet, and it was the same kind of thing. It was going to be like a Dracula, Frankenstein, all them, and some kind of syndicate or something, it said. So a lot of other people are going to try to do other things of monsters out there. So
now you also have a cover coming up for a Larry Hama book, right?
Yes, I did that. It's what was that? The Mounties versus Werewolves. Yep. And that it was a successful Kickstarter. I think it got 40-something thousand. It's and I don't know when it comes out though. I don't know if they had released it. My cover was cover B, and it did the second highest of all the covers. So that was great.
May or may not be the one I ordered.
It may not.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yes. So I'm happy about that. That's awesome. I'm doing something right now. I don't know if I can say what it is, but I can say who it's with, I guess. This with Svengoolie.
Oh, yeah.
I know who that is. And then they just released a cover to the comic book that's already been out at the local store in Chicago with the image I did last year. A Svengoolie, so you can get a Svengoolie comic book with my cover on it. But I'm doing something new. I'd already finished the art, turned it in of Svengoolie, and it's a big project they'll be announcing soon. So I got that coming out. Let's see, we did. I'm doing some Marvel stuff, but it's with Topps. They contacted me. I hadn't signed anything like NDA, so I guess I could talk about it. It was for there's a trading card game or a trading card thing online called like Marvel Collects. If you Topps Marvel Collects or Marvel Topps Collects, and they're getting me to do 10 cards, and I was like, well, if I do that, can I pick my characters? And they said, well, we thought you'd like to do Spider-Man, Hulk. They named the list. I was, yep, that list looks good. That's what I want. And
well, okay.
Yeah, okay, I'll do it then. So
I wanted to do Johnny Storm in flame form.
Oh, I'd love to do that. I don't know if that was on the list or not. I have to look. I know there was Spider-Man, Hulk. There was all the ones I've been wanting to do. So happy about that. I don't know when that comes out. I haven't got to start on it yet. But I think I'm doing them this part of the year, the next couple of months. So that's then I got other things I can't talk about that I've already done.
Like what?
But, right now, Dark Horse is talking about. I pitched them a story, and if I hear back that it got accepted, I don't know what I'll do. But that'll be awesome because then I'll have Spawn and that coming out, in the same year. I had to figure out how to work all around that, but that was the 13 Maniacs pitch I gave them, and it was going to be something I was going to Kickstarter, but I decided to try to see if they was interested, and they were. So they meet like once every so often, and once they meet up, maybe they'll give me an offer on it. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking I'll hear something back in the next week or two about that. So that's exciting. Let's see. I guess that's about it. And then again, next week.
I guess that's about it.
That's about it, man.
Other than being busy 24/7, I don't have a lot to
do.
do.
I'm working too much. But it's fun. I love what I do, so I can't complain. But before we got on, I was like, my eyes were just because I got up early. I'm not used to getting up early. My eyes were getting blurry because I was drawing all day. After the interview this morning, I got something to eat and I drew all day because I've been working on that Halloween cover because it's got to be done because they really need it by Monday.
Well, FOCs will go out real fast.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that one of the things that drives retailers insane more than anything is when people solicit a book without the cover, because the cover is outside. Unless you know the talent, like I know the writer, I know the author, or whatever,
Right.
you have nothing to base your order on outside of that cover. And if you're telling me you can't show me that cover, why am I going to order that?
Why? I don't even understand why it's in there. It shouldn't be in there.
It shouldn't be in there. But
I
they
mean,
do
I
it
can
all the time.
understand a special circumstance, like it's a Tom McFarlane
If it's a rush
cover.
to print kind of a thing with a new
Yeah.
cover, that makes a lot more sense to me than it does with X-Men #1. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. How can you not have a cover of that?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I understand if it's like Alex Ross, Todd McFarlane, J. Scott Campbell, somebody I don't care what it looks like. I'm going to buy that cover anyways, right?
Well, I think we've all been burned by that, though.
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
Let's just be honest there. Like, oh, man, that Frank Miller cover, that's going to be awesome. What happened to that man?
What happened to that? Oh, man. I was watching something the other day about that. I was watching it, and it was years ago, though. This was before the Wolverine cover, and they were talking about his style change. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, old age will rob everybody of their skills. Old age is always going to win,
Old
right?
age, yeah.
Time has a 100% win rate, right?
Yeah.
But at some point, and it's not like he's hurting for money. At some point, you say, you know what? This is not what I want my legacy to be.
Yeah.
What I did that I was proud of, I want my legacy to be.
Yeah, I think there's a time you got to say, look, I'm giving up at least doing that work. Maybe you still do sketches for people, because honestly, it's not as good of how it looks when you sketch it. It's that he did it in front of you and gave it to you. It's almost like a signature.
Very much so, yeah.
And I was telling my wife the other day, I said, it's good that I'm going to be known for a lot of Spawn stuff, because I said I can draw Spawn in like 3 seconds. So when I'm 80, I can still go, oh, here you go. Here's Spawn. Because it's such an easy character. Todd designed it to where, it's a mask, it's a cape. You don't even have to draw a whole head. It's really quick. Spider-Man's another one that's, real easy. But that's great when if you can ever do a lot of work to where people identify you with that certain character, they'll want that 20 years down the road, right? They'll 100%. Be like, oh yeah, can you do this? So, speaking of that, have you heard about? You probably read that about Larry Hama. He's doing sketches, but his hands not doing the good, so they're very limited. So he's only doing them in person, right? You can't mail them in or anything, but see, that's it's old age, it's the arthritis, it's your hands, all that kind of stuff can get you. So
yeah, I've got a Storm Shadow sketch that Larry Hama did for me 7 years ago up on the wall at the store.
Oh wow!
Is it the best art I've ever seen? No, but it's Storm Shadow by the guy who created him, who wrote my childhood, and heck, he's writing my adulthood too. The man is a freaking genius, and I think the world of him.
He's actually, honestly,
proudly displayed.
He should be a millionaire right now, enjoying his life, and it's not fair, right? It's that.
Well, yeah, he's certainly suffering from the same thing that a lot of comics creators have suffered from, which is contracts that are 100% in favor of the company and not the creator. But I know that Skybound, with those omnibuses and everything, I think he's going to come out okay. Brother, if you are a G.I. Joe man too, we might as well just start calling each other besties, man.
Man, he's awesome. We got to do another show, have Brian on here too. Again, he has a show. You got to watch his shows.
I will.
On Wednesdays. But
I love that name, by the way.
G.I. Joe interest. Speaking of G.I. Joe, that's again, I'm a big fan of G.I. Joe. That's why you could see a lot of G.I. Joe influences in the monster comic. There's a group that might be similar to Cobra. I don't know. I'm not going to say it is. It might be. Who knows? But I love G.I. Joe. It was my childhood too. And
well, somewhere in all your busyness and your insanity, you got to do that commission cover for me.
Yeah, once I get to that,
because I want to see that so
yes,
bad.
It wouldn't
outside
take me
of
long.
my brain.
It won't take me too long. I could see it in my head. I'd like to do it. But on Larry Hama, one thing on that's different to me than the normal comic creators, because I understand when they're creating that. When you create something that Hasbro's going to use, right?
Yep.
Down the line. To me, that's a little different. Like even the Transformer guys who ever come up with the whole, when I watch those shows, The Toys That Made Me, and they're saying, well, this guy come up with the He-Man, and this guy came up with Optimus Prime, and this guy they should be compensated at those toy stores, at those.
They absolutely should, yes.
And that's just sad that they're not, because those IPs were created by them. It wasn't like Star Wars where they got it from George Lucas and Kenner made the toys.
Yeah.
So it's just sad. Master of the Universe, G.I. Joe, Transformers, all of them, the creators on there should be wanting for nothing the rest of their lives. And it's not fair. I hate that. Not going to change anything though, but.
So I've actually got two things that I wanted to talk to you about right quick.
Right.
One of them, and I know that everybody kind of had some things they had going on this evening, but one of them is, and this is just a quick question, do you have any copies of this Daredevil anywhere?
No, I never made a print of that. I can get you one when I do some prints. I can get you one.
Oh, yeah, I will definitely take one of those.
Yeah. I did that as a test for some Marvel stuff back, 31 weeks ago, 51 weeks ago. This might have been last year. So
I love that. I like the way that just the feel of it, everything is just perfect for me.
Yeah, I'll definitely get you one. I can get you 11 by 17 of it.
That'll work. And then my next question.
Yeah.
And this is probably the most important question of the night.
Is this the question I'm thinking it's going to be?
No. But, I mean, I really don't need that one because of everything else that's going on with monsters. Did you draw from memory or did Josh model for you?
Oh, it was hours I had to stand there in my whitey tighties.
I'm never letting that go.
I just had to stand there for hours. He kept saying, yeah, work it.
Did Josh look at you and say, draw me like one of your French girls?
See, here's the problem right now. Mark's a visual guy, and in his head, Mark is picturing me standing there in front of that mirror. And he's like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. And
now I won't be able to look at that page ever the same way. You know it?
Well, I tell you, when you sent me the preview copy, and in email, it kind of randomly chose a thumbnail to make the attachment for that. I was like, what kind of weird picture? Because it looked like a photograph and it was tiny. I was like,
it's the guy
actually from Mark, or is somebody like scamming me and sending me this horrible stuff? What is going on? I almost didn't open it. I had to call him and make sure it was legit.
Okay, see, there's a story behind that. not the Josh part, but I see him saying the line from the sound.
Hey, I did have to rub the lotion on my skin. I never felt so buttery.
I hated to have that as the first page, right? I hated that. The reason it is the first page, though, is because originally it was going to start with the woman, the old lady, and they shoot her in the head. That was page 1. The problem is I tested and I looked at it and I said, you know what? Some idiots out there are going to see that page, right? Imagine that's the first page. And then you see the page, after you flip it, you see the page where the guy's in there with the gun. You will think when they go to the crime scene that it's that woman, right? And then you'll be like, oh, Mark just messed up the way he or colored her hair or something, that doesn't, they'll get confused, right? So I said, what I'll do is I have to move that up So you've already been to the crime scene, and then you see them shoot the old lady in the hand. This is a weird conversation, but yeah. So then they shoot. Man, I'm a violent person. I've killed 2 people in 3 pages.
Yeah, no, every single author and writer and artist who works in comics or fiction, really of any kind, except for like cookbooks and stuff, they are all on some kind of government watch list from their search histories.
Yeah.
They're like, show me pictures of crime scenes. They're like, yeah, that's a creeper right there. That's like, it's a reference for a comic book. Sure it is, creeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking because somebody sent me a picture of their little boy's. He's like 5. His birthday was yesterday, and what did they do? They went to a comic book store and bought that #1 issue, and it touched me so much. I went, oh wow! And now I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh! So the first thing they're going to see.
They can't let that kid read that comic book.
I know it. I'm sitting there thinking, wait, and then there's a guy putting a gun to his head in his underwear. He turned the page. There's a girl without a hole in her chest. And then he turned the page after that, and it's an old lady getting blown off in the head that's shot off. Wow, man, I am disturbed. I didn't think of that. That poor kid, that 5-year-old. I might need to slap a label on that book.
But you know what?
You just need to start watching some Barney or something, and I love you.
At the same time, though, you might have just created the next generation of horror lovers.
That's true too.
Yeah,
that's true too.
So I really, because the thing is, when I made this, I was thinking, what, I'm making it for my audience, my age audience, because I was like, hey, they're probably the biggest comic book readers, right? You're around 30 to 40. Well, gosh, I'm not even just 40. I'm 40 in some years now. So like 30 to 50 range.
You're $44.99 plus tax. Is that?
Man, I'm 49 right now. I got 1 year left before the big old 50, man.
Well, don't you worry, man. They actually they've done some studies on human aging that have had the results have shown up the past couple months ago, I guess. And people have 2 big times in their life where like age kicks their butt. And it's like mid 40s, early to mid 40s, and then early to mid 60s.
Okay.
Those are the 2 big speed bumps that you hit. Yeah. So you've already passed the one.
Oh gosh.
So you've got another like 12, 13 years before you hit the second one.
And let me tell you what, I'll be turning 51 in December. You know what happened on my 51st birthday?
You got a picture of Josh in his underwear?
No, it was no big deal. I did get highly irate because the batteries in the remote control died and I had to get up and walk in the kitchen.
Oh, me.
Yeah, turning 50 was...
50 is not the same as it was though when we were young, right?
Yeah, because those people were old.
Of Norm Peterson from Cheers, right? When he was 30 and what a 30-year-old looks like now. And they was like, nuh-uh. It's just... Age has changed a little bit. I don't know why. It just has.
I mean, everybody told me, it's different in your 30s, and then it all starts going downhill, and your body starts falling apart in your 40s. What? And then you're about to hit 50. That's a big one right there. In my mind, I'm still 17, and that's all I care about.
Yeah. I'm finally getting to do the job I always wanted to do when I was 17. So to me, it has rejuvenated me to that. I was like, wow, though, man, all these other guys, they talk about being in the industry for like 25, 30 years. I'm like, man, I was part of that generation. I just couldn't get in. But, now is my time because, I got some eyes on me. So maybe it's all for a reason, right? And it's this is my time to do it.
And you take advantage of the time you got. And I would say that you are doing that in spades.
I'm trying my best.
We're thrilled for you, brother. We're happy for you. We're looking forward to having you up at the shop next week. I will say, just be prepared to do at least 1 or 2 sketches because Mike Weslowski is going to be there and he's going to want one of those sketch covers with something drawn on it. So you just be prepared for that.
I'll do it. I do them quick. That's pretty good. I've never been to Haven to do a signing. That's weird.
Is that true?
No, never. No, even back in when the spawns came out. He
So
broke it for
weird.
you. Yeah, that I tell you, it's yeah. So it took me on my comic journey because I did, I was doing things for DC Comics, statues, figurines, sketch cards. So I would get paid by Warner Brothers, right? But I wouldn't get paid by DC Comics. Now it's actually a DC Comics check, so that's kind of nice. It's
That's awesome.
it's a little different, but
Nice.
it's it was like I circled around it, but I finally got in there, and now I'm where I was always wanting to be. So,
It is
but
where
yeah, I've never
he's
done a
meant
signing
to
over at
be.
Haven. I'm so excited. You got a nice chair there. You got some TV, a big old TV. I can't
Sure.
wait.
We'll hook
Love,
you up,
love
brother.
Haven.
All right, man. Well, I know you've got a jet, so
Yep.
thanks for jumping on and joining us. Always great talking with you, and we will catch you
blast.
next week. We'll have you up signing comics, and it's going to be awesome.
Yep.
And again,
See
for anybody
everybody
who wants, he's got monsters, but we also have his DC stuff, and we got a lot of his stuff for Spawn Universe too for Image. So
I can even bring I'll bring some Power Ranger stuff just in case there's somebody there who does not want monsters or DC or Image. I'll find something. I might have some Vampirella I did I can bring too. So just show up and I promise you'll have a great time. No matter if you hate monsters, you'll have a good time.
It'll be a great time. We'll have a lot of fun. So thanks, brother. We really appreciate it.
All right, guys. Love you guys.
I love you too, man. You stay out of trouble. He is the only man that's ever looked at me that long in my underwear at any one time.
Well, I mean, of course you love each other after all that.
Well, it was inevitable.
Well,
I can't stay on a whole lot longer. I'm going to have to jump off here in a little bit. But before I go, I have a couple things to show off. Hey, man, we've had some awesome guests on here. Apparently, we talked to them about Mark. I didn't realize.
I didn't realize we were doing. Dude, that is funny.
I didn't realize it. But yeah, we've had some awesome guests on here every now and again, and it's a great time.
I sent you that text message about who I'm talking to about possibly coming on. I got to catch up with them next week. And as soon as he said that, I thought, man, I wonder if we'll do that to them too.
Oh yeah, Mark is awesome. He's awesome. So yeah, if you're local here to Huntsville, pick up a copy of Monsters. Pick up some of his other stuff. Get him to sign it. It's going to be great. But I want to show off some stuff that I got because I got some pretty cool stuff. Mike Wesolowski went to the Tucson Comic-Con the other day, and he, being the generous soul that he is, because he's a super cool dude, he brought me back a couple things, and I wanted to show you what he brought me back. So he brought back 2 copies of this, just because he knows I love Moon Knight. And then he brought me back.
Nice.
You see the writing on there?
Oh, he signed them?
He signed them. And
awesome.
I'm going to take it out of the plastic so I can see if I can read what it says. I was planning on giving this to you because I didn't know he had signed it, and he made it out to me. It says, Josh O., thanks for all the love, from Josh Blaylock. And he says, you don't know the half of it, is kind of like, instead of knowing is half the battle, you don't know the half of it.
Now I like that. That is funny.
Which is fantastic, right? So I have the ash can already with this cover.
Yep.
And it's the foil cover. So I'm now going to pass that one on to you. So you have a copy. Because I have this. But I want to show you the other thing I also have. For anybody who is a G.I. Joe fan, if you don't know, Josh Blaylock took over the G.I. Joe. Oh, you're at Phoenix. Rock on. He took over the license for G.I. Joe back in, 2001, somewhere in that ballpark, after Marvel had lost it in 94, 95. and he revived it. Did a really good job with it. I was very happy with it. Well, he is relaunching a new book that is like G.I. Joe, but not. It sounds like a whole heck of a lot of fun. And I want to show you this copy of the ash can that I just got.
Oh, now
And
that
you
is
say,
gorgeous.
well, you already had the foil cover, so why are you showing it to me again? This is not the foil cover. That's metal.
Nice.
And this is all textured. You can feel it. It actually does feel kind of like dried blood on there.
Nice. I like that.
It is gorgeous. So I'm really tempted because I think, how can that come back as anything other than a 9.9 or a 10?
Oh, I'm sure they'll figure something out. It'll come back as a 9.2.
That would tick me off.
But then you would officially be a member of the 9.2 crew. See,
well, I'm already that.
Dustin says the 9.2 crew is officially dead, but no, something like that never dies.
No, there's always people getting hosed.
My Moon Knight #1 from the 80s, it's a 9.2. And as long as I got it, the 9.2 crew lives.
That's true. Don't send it in right now. Why is that, Daniel? What's going on? They just being real pills, or their timing is bad? What's the thought there? But yeah, I'm not in any hurry. I'm just thinking there's no way that doesn't come back high grade. Now, he also sent me this, which I'm guessing he probably won or something in a blind box. So we'll use this as a giveaway. It's a comic called Bubba Patrol #5, and it's a Akira VHS tape homage cover. So we'll give that away as a giveaway or something up the shop. But now this is the thing I really wanted to show you. I don't know who this artist is. I don't see a signature on here anywhere.
What are you just like having freaking Christmas in September over there or something?
Yeah, you need to be friends with Mike Weslowski if you're not. The dude's amazing.
I talk to Mike all the time.
Well, there's Mike right there. Now, I don't know who the artist is. I don't see a signature on here. So hopefully Mike is on here now. He can tell me.
Yeah, he's on here now.
So I'm hoping he can tell me who this artist is, because this is awesome. And it's definitely given me some old Stephen Platt vibes. And you'll know what I mean when I say it.
Oh, that is badass.
I'm going to take it out of the
there it
plastic.
is. All I had to do was mention it and somebody would show up.
Yeah, I'm going to take this out of the plastic so you can really see this. Oh, wait, it's a name on the back. I didn't look in the back.
That is beautiful.
Tim Champion, I think is what I'm seeing there. But look at that.
That is beautiful.
That's so Stephen Platt, 1995, 94, in the best possible way. Come on, focus, camera. That's really awesome. And Mike, you are a gentleman and a scholar. I so sincerely appreciate that. That makes me quite happy. I want to say that's a 9x12, or I don't think that's an 11x14. I think that's a 9x12. So I get a frame for that. But that is just gorgeous. And like I said, I wanted to show that off and let everybody see, because that's some great stuff. And we are very excited for that. Yeah, thank you, Mike. You are awesome. He's a Phoenix-based artist. Okay, very good, very good. Tim Champion. Yeah, I don't recognize the name, but hopefully he'll be getting some work, and I would love to see that. Really, really good. Let's see, what is Okay. Yeah. Good call. I will avoid. The other thing I wanted to show off was I kind of had something come in this week.
You could always send PGX.
Let's see here. We got a giant pool noodle here, so that's a good sign. And wow, that's really got dropped down in there, didn't it? Don't tear. Tearing is forbidden. I will say, you see this do not bend right here? And then you see the crumple.
Uh-huh. Hey, while you're opening that, is there what's the Batman Day looking like?
We've got some comics that came in for Batman Day, and they've got some like Batman: The Last Halloween.
Yep.
There's got a prequel, I think, called The Lost Halloween that they're doing. It's Jeff Sale, or it's Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, same as the original series. They're using some art that they had for that. So that's all cool.
See, I think that's a missed opportunity because Batman Day, they really had the opportunity to push something absolute Batman to get people into the shops for Batman
They're
Day.
not going to need to push people to get in the shops for that. That's going to sell like hotcakes.
Oh, I know it is, but and I'm sure it'll be just like usual. I mention it, and you jack are going to go buy them all before I get a copy.
Well, I already have you on the list as a sub for that.
I know that right there is like one of the benefits of being friends of the store owner. But I do occasionally like putting my own number on stuff because at least then I feel like I found something. I'm like, ooh, what's that? Never mind, my number's already on it.
Well, see, you still found it. This is driving me nuts because this box is all tore up.
I mean, to be honest with you, from the looks of it, that box is whooping your ass.
I'm going to be real. I'm trying not to destroy what's in here, and I'm going to be real mad if I do, or if it's already destroyed. I'm going to be real mad. I'm just tearing this box all to pieces at this point. But they've also, the big thing for
Absolute Batman.
The big thing for Batman Day that I'm interested in or excited about is the actual Golden Age comic book sized Detective Comics number 27 facsimile.
Nice.
It's a full up Golden Age size facsimile, and that is awesome. It's the price tag's the only thing that's different. It's like $8.99 or $7.99 or something, but it's a beautiful, beautiful facsimile.
I mean, that's
and they even printed it on like the pulp paper.
Yeah.
So it's got that feel.
See, that's one of those that you can get and display. Because, I mean, let's be honest, none of us are ever going to get the real thing.
Oh, well. You know, that depends on winning a lottery that I've never entered. So I don't know. All right. So I got two posters here. See, I don't know if I can get the camera far enough back to show them off. But the first one.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Jamie Sullivan.
Yep.
Storm Shadow over the Arashikage. That's just gorgeous. And then the other one, and I love this one, and I think it looks great. I think it looks classy. But the other one just looks like and the story behind it, I guess. He said it was based off of what he did with his toys when he was a kid, the way that he would stage these scenes and things. And I can absolutely see this because I would have done the same.
See, that right there is gorgeous, and that will look amazing framed.
On the wall at the shop?
Yep, framed and matted.
Yeah. Isn't that gorgeous?
That is
Holy
awesome.
smokes, that's just awesome. He said this was a scene from when they were playing. They kind of created a like the Death Star trench run,
Yep.
a scene like that. And they had the Night Ravens, and they had the Sky Striker. Was it the Striker? I forget which one it was. Yeah, the Sky Striker. And they had them. There was a big dog fight scene and all this stuff in their kind of trench run for the Death Star. And he recreated this scene from his childhood by making this image, and I just love this. It's so G.I. Joe without it. To an outsider who doesn't know G.I. Joe, they would just be like, oh, cool airplanes. But to a G.I. Joe fan, they instantly recognize the silhouette of that plane, and that's just awesome. So, yeah, it has been a little bit like Christmas over here for me this past week. In that regard, I've got all kind of stuff has come in, and it makes me really happy. So what about you? What have you got going on?
I have got absolutely nothing going on right now.
I feel like that's sad.
It is. I have not had any time this week to read one solitary comic book. And part of that is because I literally have made a decision that I've got to start cleaning up my area where my comic books are at, because it's gotten out of control. And if you walk into that room of the house, you're going to be like, my God, hoarders live here. It's gotten bad. I
would like to say shame on you. I have no idea how you could let something get to that. I just can't do that with a straight face, because I live in the same scenario.
I know. It's honestly, you would walk in and you'd be like, yeah, it figures. I mean, there are so many naked comic books piled up on that table. It's not even funny.
By naked, he means raw comics that are not bagged and boarded and put in boxes. Just so everybody knows.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and put the YouTube censors at ease on that one.
I was thinking more of your wife, but okay.
My wife walks past that area of the house and kind of does this number so she doesn't have to look at it as she's walking past it.
That's fair. Who can blame her?
Yeah, I had people will send me like messages on Facebook Messenger. I never check Facebook Messenger. I never do. 9 times out of 10, my wife will see the Facebook Messenger message before I do. Yeah, I got tons of them like that right now. But I've got a buddy of mine that I grew up with, apparently had sent me a Facebook marketplace listing, like 600 and something comic books that they were trying to get rid of, and it was local. And my wife immediately responded, was like, look, we love you, but you're not helping his addiction any whatsoever. So.
Is that why your wife won't talk to me?
No, the reason why she won't talk to you is after I come strolling through the house sporting that Cobra Commander shirt. I mean, I was strutting like a peacock. I was modeling.
And I bet she was like, you are not leaving the house in that thing under any circumstances.
She said, are you wearing it to church Sunday? And I went, don't put it past me.
That's fantastic. Oh, my Lord. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's very, very funny. Yeah, wow. I say, Mike, I assume your name is Mike. I could just be guessing here, but I assume that. I'm with you. I don't really bag or board my comics either. Like the occasional one that I think, I have a good, strong reason to believe that might be worth protecting someday, some way, somehow. Otherwise, who has time for that, right? I just load up short boxes because long boxes are like a young man's game. I don't play that anymore. I just load up short boxes and cram them full and then stack them up. They're not organized or nothing. So, when it comes to my time for an estate sale or what have you, there's some good stuff in there, but it ain't gonna be easy for people to go through and dig out.
I'm the same way. I have told my daughter, I'm like, look, all these comics are going to be yours one day. You can do one of two things. You can either take them to a local auction and take the money, or you can pass them on to my grandchild one day. I'm going to leave it totally up to you. My only thing is that G.I. Joe #1 that's graded, that Moon Knight #1 that's graded, and that Web of Spider-Man #1 that's graded go in the coffin with me. All there is to it.
That's
Send
fair.
those 3 with me, and I'll be happy and content.
That's fair.
They say you can't take it with you. Well, I'm damn sure going to try.
There you go. Well, we normally run about another half hour on the show, but I've got some stuff I have to take care of, and I got to go do it now. So I've got to drop. I don't know if you want to keep talking with folks, Alan.
Now, we will go ahead and jump off here. And Nick, in my will, those will actually be going to you because I know you love horror now after we went and saw Alien Romulus.
I still want to get him on here so you can act out the way he cried.
I'm going to tell you what, he was saying some words to me in that movie that I can't repeat here.
I believe that. I believe that. In accusatory tone, too.
Really? I mean, there for a minute, I thought I was about to pay for a sin from a previous life.
You might have been.
I might have been.
All right, folks. We really appreciate you guys coming on. Pick up Mark Spears' Monsters at your local comic shop. Hopefully they have it. If they don't, tell them you want it. Make sure they order that second print. Tell them that you want to sign up for the whole run of the book. Put on that subscription list. Let's get those orders up. We need to, if we want cool comic creators to keep on creating, we've got to make sure that they have the money to do that and that they can live well enough to do that. So support these great folks doing great stuff. And we will catch you guys next time. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be back on next week. Yes, Mark is coming to the store on Wednesday, Mike. Next Wednesday, the 25th, from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. He'll be doing a signing, and it's Haven, so there'll probably be pizza or something, too, because that's how we roll.
Maybe a cupcake or something.
Yeah, probably that, too. But thanks, you guys. Really appreciate it. Sorry we got to duck out early tonight.